Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to be pulling some general energies for you guys for July 23rd to the 31st. So yeah, we're on the heels of the eclipse, right? We have the South Node Sun in Cancer, 24 degrees Saturn that we've been dealing with. It's Saturn and Pluto hanging out around those degrees. It's on its buildup as it heads towards that waxing form of the moon, right? And it really peaks out over Saturn in its home sign. That equals intensity and karmic endings, karmic beginnings, major mixing of energies, right? And then we have that North Node in Venus coming into a conjunction point, and this lunar eclipse is opposing the seventh. I'm sorry, not the seventh, the Venus, opposing Venus in many ways. So there's a lot about relationships and projects here, right? It's about us aligning with our honest truth and who we are emotionally, because without that honesty, we're not going to be able to get to where we need to go. Saturn and Pluto are hard, but they're necessary because they really push us to really look at, what are we trying to make work that's actually not working, right? Really, we need to think about that. Beautiful crowning energy. Fifth house. I like it. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, because this is going to support you really tapping into that truth, right? Because we can't compromise our spiritual truth anymore. Saturn in that South Node energy is just not going to let us. But let's talk about this fifth house before we pull cards for our week. Okay. So the fifth house of creativity. This is like be happy and give yourself the gift of happiness here. Like I've said, if the zodiac had a fun house, it would be the fifth house. Pleasure, creativity, and children are all elements of this house. Being really ingenious in this time and really trying to undo knots in your life as far as problems go is very indicated here. So this typically turns up in a reading when you've created something. You're trying to create something new for your life, all right? Or you're going to begin to create something new, something to be really, really proud of. It's like you can expect the completion of a project or an accomplishment of a significant goal, which you're going to want to celebrate on. So maybe you finish a degree or a course or a class or a project or just something that is worth celebrating, that's going to help you push your life forward in some way. So whatever it is, this is a general reading, so whatever that means to you. It's like you've put in the hard work into something and you're now going to see the results. And there's a lot of celebration here for sure. Yeah, so this is definitely great things happening with your children. So I really like this because this is about you finding joy in something that you're creating and self-expression with a real promise here. And it's almost like you're going to be in a space when you celebrate where you're going to be feeling very much childlike. There is, for many of you, I am getting that there's going to be a return to something from your childhood. So that could be you visiting with people who you haven't seen in a long time, visiting old family and friends, and just or strongly looking forward to doing this. Maybe many of you are planning a trip as far as celebrating something where you're going to be getting together with people that you haven't seen in a long time, but very carnival-like atmosphere where life becomes kind of like a three-ring circus, but usually in the best way possible. It's about multitasking and taking on more than is expected, and then making a spectacular success of it. So this is the card of mastery and victory in a really deep way, though, right? Like, just such as that which you already carry inside your heart, which indicates that really all is possible right now. If you've been feeling stuck, this shows movement. And because this is your crowning energy, this tells me that as you evolve through this week, this is going to be the culminating energy. So the culminating energy of this week is definitely going to be movement, just a lot of movement. And as regarding romance, when the fifth house shows up, in regards to romance, it's like you're going to enter into a kind of playfulness, like a sensual joy that happens inside the playground of adulthood and only adulthood, if you know what I mean. So lots of fun in many areas, lots of discovering, lots of getting in touch with your creativity here at this time. So I really do like that for you. That's awesome. So let's pull some cards and see what story. Hopefully we get a nice story to match that 5th house, creativity. Yeah, good stuff. I like that. I do like that for you guys. You know, we do have a lot of positive stuff going on in the sky. We have Mercury and you guys, right? Mercury in Cancer, and you guys conjunct Venus in Cancer on the 24th. We have Mars and Leo trine Jupiter in Sag on the 25th. Then we have Sun and Leo trine Chiron in Aries on the 28th. The 29th is the only day where you might be like, oh, I'm so exhausted, right? And the 29th, because it's at Sun and Leo, square Uranus and Taurus. Getting some good cards here. Okay. All right. I feel like you guys are going to be going through it a little bit in work, is what I'm getting. And then we get the Lovers card. I feel like your relationships are going to end up really nice at the end of this. Right, and remember on that last day, we have the new moon at 8 degrees Leo, and we also have Mercury going direct finally, even though it won't be at a shadow until the middle of August, but at least things will be lightening up for sure. But let's talk about what we have going into this week. So we're starting with the 8 of Swords reverse, Jupiter and Gemini. Okay. So this tells me that you're feeling very frustrated right now going into this week. Feeling very trapped in a situation. But this really is you feeling trapped within your own mind. It's kind of like that self-imposed prison, which results in, you know, you haven't gone through stuff, right? You had some bad experiences and some poor luck. And you're in a space here of beginning to lose faith in things if they can ever improve. I'm getting many of you can be feeling anxious due to some sort of unsatisfying bond with a person or a job or an organization. This can indicate issues at work, but even just issues in your own mind and you dealing with the frustrations of things not being the way you feel they should be at this time. You know? Regarding work, I'm getting that many of you feel frustrated right now with your job because of unreasonable demands and disorganized management. And you may even feel a sense like conversations are going on behind closed doors about you, and you're not welcomed in, so you feel this sense of isolation, maybe even vulnerable right now. This often shows someone too in a position that doesn't really suit them. So like many of you may be in jobs or in circumstances that you really don't want to be in, but you feel this pressure to conform. That's also indicated here. So examples I like to give for this are like, maybe some of you are working in a family business that you really don't want to be in, or maybe you're studying a major in school that you really know now it doesn't speak to you. Maybe you took a couple of classes and you're like, it's really not for me, but outside people are pressuring you to follow that certain path, or you might even be imposing pressure on yourself. Others of you can just feel pressured to stay in a job for the money because of other responsibilities, but you're just really not happy. And because this is in the reverse, it's likely that you feel some sense of guilt or even anger or even regret right now, okay? But you do just want to be careful that your frustrations don't push you to lash out at those that are close to you. You know, and I do feel like this is connected with your challenge, your 7 of Swords challenge for this week, because this card says that she does not need to take whatever it is that the universe wants to give her. Right? So this can represent you being in this space right now where the universe has brought you to a place and you just really don't want to be accepting of it anymore. You know, she's energetically trying to remove the dark night of her soul, which in other words, it's any negative patterning. This is her recognizing this negative patterning. This is her recognizing that somewhere along her path, she has allowed herself to get hijacked by circumstances, by situations in her life where she's not completely in touch. And that can generate fear, because this does speak of fear that you have. It's it's this fear that you have about making the right decision, but it's that very fear that's preventing true connection to spirit right now. And the question here is, are you ready to break free from how you've been doing things? There's no need to settle for less. You know, there are two sets of swords here, right? One being taken and the other one being left behind. So this is a time to figure out, what are you going to keep and what do you feel really ready to leave behind? As this is not an energy to take less in your life than you deserve for fear of not getting what you ultimately want. Because in a way, Cancer, that's a way of giving up on yourself too soon. So don't be discouraged if you may not see the results of things in the way that you thought they should look, in the way that you thought they should look just yet. Just stay focused on what you know is ultimately going to serve your highest good. Yeah. And I do have to say, I also feel that this Queen of Coins reverse is feeding into this energy too. I feel like you're going to be very in your head at the beginning of the week, basically. But let's talk about this Queen of Coins, because I definitely am getting this reversal goes with this Eight of Swords as well. So yeah, this is a Sag and Capricorn energy. It's your confusion here about feeling disconnected from something, about feeling frustrated, feeling like you're not in the right space for yourself right now, can have to do with money that you relied upon not coming in or somehow misappropriated. And you guys just being really just very frustrated and just wondering if you're even in the right space. Now, for others of you, you may feel so overwhelmed by this frustration and needing to deal with things that your home is being neglected, because other concerns are taking over. So it's this element of it's all consuming, right? While others of you may be in a space of needing to deal with someone who's very stubborn and is actually mean in some way or unfair regarding money. So there's a confusion here at the start of the week. But these frustrations and this confusion is not going to last because they're all minor arcanas. So just be patient with yourself and know that you really can release yourself from these bonds. You really can. But it's just going to take some determination, which I feel like you're really going to have, considering what the next energy is of this Three of Wands. Because this is the card of intentional thought, right? Put the woman on this card manifesting with such laser focus into her crystal on that wand. So much so that the movement in the sea calms down around her, right? And what is the sea? It's waters, it's emotions. It's this, you becoming so like, I am done with that. It is time for me to really switch my eyes on this idea, this path, this seed, even if it's only the beginning of a seed, that's going to end up changing your path. It's going to end up changing the trajectory of your life into such a better place. And even just the thought of it calms you, But these stars imply movement. There's movement happening here. Really prepare yourself, Cancer, to receive what you desire. Stay positive, though, right? Stay positive, because your future really is in your own hands right now. So you want to be sure to direct that emotional power that you have, that you're feeling, to harness transformational energy through your mind. This is very much a mental thing. There is no need and no space for external validation at this time. You are very, very much in touch with what you need right now, and you don't need anyone to talk you or try to talk you out of it for their own needs, right? Just be sure not to make any overly emotional decisions right now, right? Because, as I said, this is a very mental space. So watch out for your tendency to make any hasty impulses, right? Because what is Cancer? Cancer is I feel, right? So that's not a natural, comfortable space for you. Obviously, it depends on what else is in your chart. If you have a lot of, earth in your chart, you might be a little different. But as the archetype, right? No hasty impulses. But Yeah, events are going to be speeding up. This is about expansion, definitely a lucky time. Harnessing that fire in your belly right now is the key to your desires becoming a reality. Just stay the course and ignore any negative bullshit that might be surrounding you right now. Like, just don't give anything power. Don't give anything power, because this is like, I just have this vision of you guys, like with these, like the horse blinders, boom, I'm just moving, moving, moving. And that's going to bring you to such a beautiful space. Look, we have the Lover's card. This is an awesome card. Yeah. In this card, just so you guys know how to understand this, this is a person in a purple cloak. That's you in this card. This is you standing and viewing the love you desire, observing passion and desire. Right? Or can this be you in the picture looking upon your own experience? This is your opportunity to step into that picture as only you have imagined up until now. Because we all have different versions of what we want in a relationship, right? But will you let yourself have this type of happiness? In this 7th chakra energy, you're going to find yourself wondering if you have learned what real love is, or is it something that you've only dreamed of? And does it really matter? Doesn't matter to you. Your connection to the universal consciousness here has always been there. So this is about you sending this message of what you really want out into the world, how you want to see things in the world, the kind of partnership you want, the pleasures that you seek. This can even have to do with a job. Like, what do you ultimately want? This is you having clarity and knowing and enlightenment. Guys, this is a Saturn energy, okay? And Saturn requires discipline and hard work, yet that is also what takes us into that God consciousness of the 7th chakra. And the reward here, anything gained during this time, is for a lifetime. You understand? So, which makes sense, right? Because this eclipse had to do with, you guys were half of this eclipse that we're still in the middle of. These are life-changing times for you. There are times when people may wonder how someone achieved, something that appears to be just from absolute luck. That's the kind of mystery that both the 7th chakra and Saturn together bring. And this is what I have for you here. This is that what you work for now is going to come to fruition. This is about you setting intentions firmly. Will you choose to live your dream? You need to honestly believe that it's possible for yourself. Ask yourself, what do you know right now that only moments ago was unclear? You're working on a clean slate energy here, a new beginning. Now, doesn't mean it's going to be easy. I don't want to blow butterflies and unicorns here, right? Where it won't be easy, because this is going to require a journey through your shadow side, your shadow chakras, which means as you bring yourself to this ultimate relationship, this ultimate job, it's going to require you to get very real with yourself in areas that you may typically potentially sabotage yourself in. So very important that you get in touch with this energy right now, okay? And then we have in the midweek, we have Knight of Wands reverse. So Scorpio and Sag energy in general, this indicates miscommunications where messages are not clearly delivered. This can also indicate deferred decisions, leaving you feel very frustrated at the lack of progress of something that you're really trying to push forward. Temporary, guys, okay? Temporary influence. It's a minor arcana. It is a core card, but it's still a minor arcana. Just keep doing what you're doing and things are going to happen. Now, for others of you this week, you might be dealing with a reverse king, which is an egotistical individual, right? Someone you're dealing with who wants a lot, very demanding, materialistically, emotionally, but somebody who's not really willing to do the work on their end and expects a great deal from you. This is a person who acts out of self-interest. Now, this can be a partner, although I'm feeling for a lot of you, this can definitely be a boss or someone in an authoritative position at work. I am feeling that this is connected to your Queen of Swords challenge for this week. This is a Virgo and Libra energy, and it suggests excuses for bad behavior. And it's like you being sucked up into a situation where you're unjustly attacked. This is a person who has suddenly turned just kind of bitter on you and a little vengeful, right? But this can be because they're under a lot of stress. So, you know, that makes sense to me as to why I'm getting maybe it is a boss. But it really could be in any area of your life, guys. This is a general read. But regardless, this person is making their problems your problem. This person is completely unaware of just how unreasonable they're being and how ridiculous their demands have become. But I do have to say, also, because we have two knights and one is upright, one is reverse, in tarot, this typically indicates rivalry. So I am sensing a rivalrous type of tension between you and someone else. And it could be anyone in your life. But there's definitely this sense of rivalry, of this need to like one up each other, or to prove something. There's like this proving energy there when we have these two next to each other, where either if they're both reverse or one's upright and one's reverse, it does typically indicate rivalry, yeah. Then continuing on, we have Four of Swords, reverse, Jupiter and Libra. This tells me that you're in a space of taking a time out, or at least a timeout message is being enforced. So you may have to end up taking some time away from work or other responsibilities due to an influence that's out of your control. Unfortunately, there's little you can do to alter the situation other than just surrender to the events. This is a phase, and the message here is to just find peace, use the time positively. It's a minor arcana, okay? So use it well. Like maybe you need to rethink your working arrangements or come to terms with changes in a relationship. You know, it can be that. And then we have a Four of Cups, okay? Cancer energy. You might be rethinking things in both your relationship and your career sector. You know, one or the other or both. Because you're feeling disillusioned by things somehow right now. This shows me that you're in a mode of self-protection, instantly rejecting anyone or anything that doesn't live up to your exacting standards, right? So this is really a matter of you getting in touch with why things are the way they are and why you've allowed this situation to happen, whatever situation it is, be it relationship, be it work. I'm really looking at your part in it and how you allowed things to get out of maybe control, or at least they might not even be out of control. You just might not be very satisfied and you're wondering, how did I even get into this space? Because once you think about those things and you get in touch with your strengths and weaknesses and you healed any past issues that still require healing, because I am getting that there are some, you're going to be ready to open up emotionally in a new way to manifest better things for yourself, not only in your career but in areas of relationships. So this can mean deepening to an existing relationship, which is very reflective of this Lover's energy. This can also mean deepening of friendships and relationships with family members, you know. Can mean really getting in touch with what you need that speaks to your soul as far as you're moving your life forward in general. Small changes go a very long way in this energy, so that's really good. Then we have the end of the week, Knight of Swords, Capricorn and Aquarius. This energy is about focusing your mind rather than your heart. You may be going through an intensive time at work or in your studies, but this is about you getting in touch with your ambitions in every part of your life. So some of you may be meeting someone who has this energy, which is awesome. As someone who's intellectual and relies on logic, who's very open to ideas. They're charming, they make good judgments, they have a dry sense of humor. Typical vocations for someone like this, they could be a doctor, a judge, member of the military, an academic, maybe somebody who works in IT, business, a manager, a director. But whatever the profession, they're able to make decisions that make a difference and preferably have hands-on involvement. So that's awesome, okay? And then we have the Six of Coins energy, Moon and Taurus. Love this for you. Love this for you. First of all, this indicates money is coming to you. So if you've been struggling financially, this card is a welcome sign that your circumstances are improving. This can equally be you being able to help someone else out who you care about, who might be having a temporary cash flow issue. But overall, this card brings genuine support, and it predicts you're feeling connected and close to your usual circle of family and friends, you know, your tribe. As you see in here, you see the hands reaching out in this, right? The coins come from the indigo woman, but also from unseen sources, right? So this indicates a sense of non-attachment to a financial outcome here. So I love this because this is you going into a space to really get in touch with your relationship with money, and also what it means to be supportive and supported in relationships. This is you getting in touch with where you learned about money from, and do those ideas even fit inside your life right now? Guys, you typically know that money is not everything, right? You know that as a Cancer, but at the same time, you recognize the fundamental importance of it. In the same way you recognize the fundamental importance of being supportive in a supportive environment at home and what it means to nurture relationships. So this energy is pushing you to challenge your past beliefs on all of these things, because when you do, you're really going to gain personal rewards from an unexpected source in a way that you didn't expect. We have this Ten of Coins energy, Mercury and Virgo. Okay, first of all, let's just look at this card, okay? This card is, you can just see how in love this couple is in this picture. And there's like an antiqued element to it, and it represents family, right? So that's that, right? And then we have this beautiful box here that's filled with jewels, and there's this sense of ancestry here, right? There's this sense of discovering what's been hidden. So this can indicate many of you gaining an inheritance, or someone in your life providing you generosity, but it's generosity in a love relationship that brings wealth of all kinds and happiness, just happiness. So if you're asking the question, will my current relationship become more committed? The answer is absolutely yes. This is about commitment and a blending together, a sharing of values. For some of you, this can mean buying a second home or even extending your current home. But again, everything's done with family support. There's a sense of family here. Yeah, you're going to benefit too from sharing your time and your resources right now, your skills, your money, just to help each other out. Very much, again, this family vibe here. And when I say family, that includes even close friends who we consider family, right? But this is about maturity as well. So in financial terms, this can mean investments maturing. For others, it can mean maturing in emotional terms. You know, like that emotional maturity that comes with life experience. You know, when you guys haven't been there, done that, and just really working your life differently in a more beautiful way. For others of you, you may find that an older person in your family has wisdom to share in addition to resources that can help you on your path right now. So what a beautiful way to end this reading. I'm not even sure what to title it, so I'm going to have to think about it, as you have a lot going on. I get a very heavy career vibe here. I feel like your relationships are really going to be fine. Actually, very deep and beautiful. I love the Lovers for you. But I do give multiple interpretations because not everyone is in a relationship. So I do try to apply it as well to work. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys take care during this time, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.